Well, hello there. I am going to teach you how to do the notes for your genetic research project. So, I shared this with you on Google Classroom. So, if you go to Google Classroom, you can see here's the instructions for your research project, and then you should have received a copy automatically of this note, what's called the notes template. So, why don't you look at that, and then I don't know if my notes here on that document showed up or not, so that's kind of the reason why I'm making this video. So let me move my picture over here. Let's go to this. All right. So these are to keep track of your information that you're finding to answer those questions that you need to answer. If you forget what are the requirements of the paper, you can go back to this. Genetic disorder individual research project. These are the list of choices to choose from. And if we scroll down, all right. Here it lists what sources I would like you to find and use. And down here, it lists what you need to require. So these are your headings of your paper. The genetic disorder. Tell me about it. Is it disease, a syndrome? What type of mutation causes it? Risk factors for the disease, etiology, signs, symptoms, screening, diagnosis, etc. These are the headings that you need to research and find the answers to. So, like for example, explain what the symptoms mean, what part of the body is impacted, what are the signs that you have this genetic disorder or this disease. So, let's say your disease is Huntington's, which is one of the options. Okay, this is the library website in which you will use to find your information. One of the databases I want to use is Salem Press down here. So we go to that, and it lists all of these genetics and inherited conditions by alphabetically order. So Huntington's disease, it should be on there, right there. So I click on that. It will pull up an article. Okay, here's the article. The cool thing about this website is when you're in LHS, I'm going to have you print all articles that you find. Now the reason for this is, so you print it just how it's seen there, is so when I want you to actually physically have a copy so you can highlight what you like, what kind of things answer the questions on signs and symptoms, for example. And if you also click article citation, you can click APA style, because that's the style I want it to be in, APA style, and print, and it will give you that citation. You can also copy and paste it and put it to your works cited page, which is handy dandy. All right, so signs or symptoms. So let's say you're reading through Huntington's disease is a fatal neurological disorder, blah, blah, blah. In Huntington's disease, degeneration of neurons in specific brain regions occurs over time. Let's say that's a note, something that you want to include in your paper. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to go to this notes page. Here, under notes, is where I will paste that note. You can use word for word out of the exact paper that you got it. The reflection piece, and if you could take a direct quote like I did there, you want to put it in quotation marks. You borrow information for this area in the form of a direct quote, or you can paraphrase it. These are not your own words. Put quotation marks around anything that is copied word for word, or like I just did there. The reflection piece, this is where you put whatever's in your note in your own words. So what does that mean to me? So the brain, the brain loses function due to this disease. Disease. That's what it means to me. Degeneration of neurons, which are in your brain, occurs with this disease. So heading. How would I organize that? We click on headings over here. This is where you organize under which heading you would fit in example signs and symptoms. And that's exactly what that is to me. That's what's happening as a result of this disease, so that's a sign or a symptom. Oops, if I could spell, that'd be good. And source, here's where I put where I actually got that information. So I would go to the article citation. You could even copy and paste the whole thing, which would probably take up too much space. Instead, I would probably just put the author's name for the citation. So I know that's where I got that information. Some articles, not this one that I was looking at right here, but some of them will have page numbers. Like if it's a PDF, for example, which you will get from the Gale Virtual Reference Library, you will get a PDF, or you should. Then you'll want to include page numbers of where you got that notes. But for this one, there's no page number. So that is one note, one of the 30 to 40 you need to do. So you will read through your articles. After you print them off, highlight the crucial information that you think you want to include in your paper, and then you fill out the notes for every piece of information. I would not want you to put huge paragraphs of information in every single note. These are small little snippets that you want to include. You can expand on them in your own words in your paper, but you don't want to include, like I wouldn't want to go to this paper here and highlight this whole paragraph and put that in a note. No, that's not going to do you any good right now. This is to help you organize your information so that when it comes time to write in your paper, it won't be so difficult. And that is how you do this. And this is for your first checkpoint. You want to fill out 30 to 40 notes. That was just one that I did there. And you also want to make a reference page for me. And how you do that, like on this website, you would go to article citation and you would simply print APA style. You could even copy and paste and put that into a separate Google document and show me that you have your at least 4 citations ready to rock. And that's it.